Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back.
It's been a little bit, but I've been a little bit busy. Right after the fight, I went straight to Nigeria
Welcome
for
back to what?
about. Welcome back to the podcast,
The
my
what
man.
podcast?
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back to the Yusuf podcast. I'm Super Sadiq Yusuf.
I'm Yusuf.
There you go. Welcome back.
back.
Like I said, right after the fight, I went back home to Nigeria for a little bit of vacation. Me and my mom took a surprise visit, and my brother couldn't come with us because you're starting school again. So
Yeah, back in classes.
he was like, I don't want to miss the first couple of weeks of classes, even though I think he could have. I don't think it's that crazy the first couple of weeks, but I don't know nothing about college, so I wouldn't.
I would have missed the first couple of weeks. Came back 3 weeks later, be like, "Hey, y'all, what my grade looking like?" Man, we kicked you off the class. You didn't show up the first week.
Oh, sorry. Well, I guess it was super important then. But like I said, it was a lot of fun. It was just me and my mom. We didn't tell anybody that we was gonna go, and none of them was expecting us. The first day we showed up, we kind of took a little bit of a rest, but the next day we started just surprising people one by one. It was super exciting.
It's nice. What was the to-do list? You had a to-do list, or was it just like you winged it as you went along?
Well, originally the plan was just to wing it, as like get over there and just do whatever like came to mind. But as soon as we made the first surprise and like they posted it on social media, then everything just started coming left and right. I started having like radio stations and TV stations contacting me like, "Hey, come do an interview here. Come sit down with us. Come blah blah." So then like everything just started getting busy, and by the time I knew it, the whole vacation was kind of done.
Yeah. I saw after a while, like the first few videos on Instagram was just like, "Yeah, you, it's just all those stuff," and then like after a while, it was just like, "Yeah, we're going up to a news station, going up to another radio." I was like, when did this happen?
Yeah, hey man, it's just like all of them. Like initially, it started off with one girl messaging me on Twitter, and like I guess she didn't think like I was gonna reply, so she was like just shooting her shot. And coincidentally, like her TV station was like really really close to where my dad lived, so I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do it. And as soon as I went to her station, I guess everybody else saw that it was like easy to get in contact with me, so they all just sent their little messages back and forth too. By the time I actually turned down a lot of them, because after a while, like I didn't want to turn it into work, like I did the most that I could, and then the rest of the time I just kind of spent with my family.
It's nice. Were you cheesing? Is that next level celebrity hitting you again?
Honestly, it was pretty cool to be recognized. I actually got recognized as soon as we got there, like as soon as at the airport.
Nice.
Like as soon as I got to the airport, the person that was gonna like stamp you to let you go into the country, it was like, Super Sadiq, Super Sadiq.
That's nice.
No walk behind Super Sadiq. Like, which basically means keep beating them up, So I was like, oh snap, that's cool as a mug. And then like as soon as we did the first TV interview on Galaxy TV, as soon as I came out of the station, we were just surrounded by a bunch of neighborhood thugs. It was like Super Sadiq, yeah, Super Sadiq. So they said that apparently they saw my interview and they saw that it was live. So they just drove the car to the station and surrounded us. But good thing though, it was positive neighborhood thugs. They were
the supportive neighborhood thugs.
Yeah. It was a supportive neighborhood thugs. They got the tats on their face and everything, but they were there for positivity. They wasn't there to do no harm. I was like, I did want to get out of there though. I was like, yeah, let's just slowly inch our way to the car, take a couple of pictures and slowly walk my way to the car.
Like, thanks for the support.
It was cool, man. It was cool. Man. Overall, like, and then this is the first time I actually went back over there with a little bit of money, So usually when I go to Nigeria, I always go back to like my dad's place, but this time it was like, man, nah, we gotta do it up a little bit, man. We stayed at the hotels where let me tell you a funny story. This is gonna connect back to the Nigeria thing. So like the people at the gym, they all know like I'm from Nigeria. Whenever I tell them like yeah, we grew up doing this, and this, and this is hard, and this part was easy, this blah blah. So I kind of like already gave them like a vivid image of how I grew up in Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
So one time my coach's wife. My coach and his people, they're pretty well off. They're pretty a little affluent, bit, yeah, they're a little bit on the better side of things, you know. Yeah. So my coach and my coach's wife, they went to Nigeria with some kind of celebrity. I think she's either like a singer or some type of celebrity. Mm-hmm. So she came back to America. And it was one day I was leaving the gym, and she was like, "Man, Sadiq, I just came back from Nigeria, and like it's nothing like you said it is." we was popping champagne, riding helicopters. We had armed security with us. We were just on the boat and on the helicopters the whole time. I was like, I thought it was so funny. I was like, yeah, next time let me take you to Nigeria. I'm gonna show you my neck of the woods. I'm gonna show you the Nigeria that I know.
I was like, man, that's exactly like what you said. We were walking everywhere.
Exactly. So, but that's just to take it back to the story. So this time that I went back to Nigeria, I had a little bit of money on me, so I was able to live the type of Nigeria that my coach's wife saw. so we stayed at a hotel on the island, you know, and we was able to. This time we didn't struggle with Wi-Fi. Most of the time, where me and my brother
data range.
When we go to Nigeria, man, that internet is like almost non-existent because you constantly are just buying phone data and like you just eat through it so fast because like you'll be surprised how much data YouTube eats up when you actually gotta pay for it. You know,
one of the weirdest things like of knowing how much data costs. Like
but this time like the trip was like it wasn't kind of. It didn't even really felt like I left America, honestly. It was like the best of both worlds, you know? So even though I wasn't on helicopters and popping champagne, it was still pretty cool, you know?
City. Next time.
Next
time.
Next time we could get it done. No, but I told my coach, he was like, man, how was the trip? You didn't even tell me anything. I was like, man, I kind of had it the same way your wife had it when she told me Nigeria's nothing like I said it was.
I went back to Nigeria and that was nothing like I grew up.
Yeah. I was like, man, I would take her to my neck and take her to the villages and ain't no helicopters there. And the armed security ain't the type that you want to be around, you know?
It's like the armed security is just a Duke. Adenike and his boys.
Exactly. And the ones that have the real guns, they're probably there to rob you, not really protect you like that. But outside of that, like I said, it was good. The first day, I went to go surprise my sister and my brother. Then the second day, I think we went to my dad's place. We went to my dad's place the second day. The third day, then we went to my grandmother's place. And then the fourth day...
you ate the bread? You ate the bread?
Okay. Here goes another transition, right? So, the first day... Let me put this timeline for y'all. I had my fight. I told y'all before, as soon as fighters finish fighting, there's a reason why every picture and video that they put up on their social media is from before the fight. It's because we're all fat as hell. So the first picture I put on Instagram, I had to put a picture up for one of my sponsors, and I try to like get at a corner like the best possible angle to make sure the fatness is not showing. And you already know me, like my cheeks get fat like quick, even when I'm not fat. Now imagine now that I'm super big. So I already took one picture where I'm looking huge and bloated. As soon as I got to Nigeria, the first thing someone says like, "Oh man, you look different." And you do TV, yo, every time somebody told me that joke, it hurt my feelings every time, dog. And I heard that about 50 times while I was there. I was like, "Oh, you don't look the same as you do on TV, you know."
You can see the single tear.
And I just kept trying to play it off. I was like, "Yeah, you know, I'm on vacation right now, you know, just
He had to put up the barrier.
No, and that joke was like a stab to the chest every single time, dog. So back to when we went to grandma's place, and she was like, "Man, do you want bread and beans?" Like they wanted to make like a whole feast. I was like, "Man, it's okay. I'm trying not to get like super fat. I'm trying not to get super fat. I'm tripping." But every time I would post something on Instagram, it would be like 100 positive comments, right? And it would just be one random person like, "Damn, you've been eating, boy." And then it was that joke was hurt my feelings so bad. Even now, you look at all the pictures I posted of me in Nigeria. You'll see comments of people telling me about how fat I was.
Oh, I know. I see them, dog. I was gonna comment, but I was like, he don't need that, right?
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna lie. I was eating like a mug over there, dog. The hotel we was at, they had this like they'll pull out like a whole catfish and like just like season it like straight out the sea. We was on the island, so like they're like getting this like straight out the water. And man, I'm trying to tell you, I was punishing like whole catfishes like every meal, yo. Sometimes I would have like 2 of them junks, yo. I thought I was terrified when I was getting back. I was like, man, when I touch that scale, that number is about to look crazy. I thought I was gonna come back and be like 190 something, but I was only a fat 186, man. You know, I ain't touched 190. I touched 186, but that's about it.
Get out of here with your fight athlete privilege,
man. Hey, nah, I gotta watch the fatness, man. You know, California sent me a letter that was like, for those of you that don't know, the California State Athletic Commission, they're the only they're trying to start a new rule where they're trying to stop what you weigh. So in boxing, they do this. Yeah. Whenever you weigh in, the next day you gotta weigh in again to make sure you don't go over a certain number.
Yeah.
I think it's a silly ass rule, you know. And the California Athletic Commission, they're trying to bring that same rule into MMA because I guess what they're trying to do is stop people from cutting weight. But the way I see it, doing something like that, the people they're not. No, it's not even the opposite problem. They're not gonna stop cutting weight. They're just not gonna put it all back on for the fight, which is more dangerous because now they're not hydrating themselves no more. So they want to do like a test run for my last fight. They re-weighed all of us in, and like there was like you can't come back in over I think it was 10% of your weight class. So if you're like 145, you gotta come back in like 159 or less. So that would be like 10%, like 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
So every single athlete has to weigh back in, and then they release the charts. And hey, luckily for me, there was a guy that just missed weight completely. Yeah. So he was number 1.
So the curve killer.
You know who number 2 was?
That's your boy.
Your boy. Your boy. I came in a solid. I think I was 17% more than my regular weight, but I carry a lot of muscle, man. It's like I've never missed weight before, and I make it pretty easily. I don't have like I don't be looking like crazy. Yeah. So it's all right. I'm not gonna not hydrate myself, you know, just for some tests. But they sent me a letter saying this is just a warning, and they're gonna recommend you moving up weight classes, and the next time you fight at 145 in California, they're just going to be monitoring you to make sure you're okay during the week and have a doctor sign off that you're okay.
That's a dangerous idea because it would just like because like I said, it will reverse the issue. Now people are going to be less healthy. Like it's what's going to the end result is just people are going to be less healthy.
What they want the end result to be
is everybody
move up and not cut weight. But
that's not what people do.
We punch each other in the face for a living. We're not that smart.
Again, this is a competition show where everybody's genius idea to get ahead of the other guy is to cut weight down, make themselves suffer so they can be bigger than their opponent. Genius did. The opponent did the exact same thing. So now you're all just meeting each other at a lower level.
I've heard Joe Rogan said that before too. It's like it's the dumbest cheating tag together. But hey, man, that's the lay of the land. That's what everybody does, you know. Like there's certain fighters that don't really cut weight like that, but there's not that many of them, you know.
You're talking about heavyweight and all those super heavyweights.
Yeah, like, there are actually certain fighters that are like regular 145ers that do walk around like close to 145, but those are the gangsters. I'm not that gangster yet.
Like saying because you can visibly see the difference between them. Like
yeah, those guys are you could see the difference between them and their opponent when they're in the ring. They're and a lot of them they do say that they feel a lot better like energy wise and stuff like that. But sooner or later, those guys also move down in weight too. I don't see that many of them that stayed in the same weight class their whole career.
Think like it's an honor then or something, or is it really health wise? Because health wise, you shouldn't be bouncing around weights. Like anybody can agree on that. Like as a healthy normal individual, bouncing around your weights isn't like good for your body. Yeah. But like if you're only doing it for like this one event or this one thing, it's not like every day of your life you keep bouncing back and forth. You're putting yourself through starvation. like you're cutting. I don't know.
I would like to act like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're neither of us are doctors.
Yeah, but like I said, the way I say it is, hey, everybody else is doing it, man. I don't see why I need to be the tiny guy in the ring. And like I said, I don't have a problem making my weight. So
yeah, you're not killing yourself.
Yeah, it's not really something that I'm worried about now. When it starts getting to the point where like I feel like I'm gonna die when I'm doing it, then I'll probably move up weight. But for now, I'm all good. And y'all stop making fun of me on Instagram for being fat.
that's what it was. It's stop fat shaming.
Stop fat shaming. I was like, every single picture I try to take in Nigeria, you see all of them are like me like this. You see how the camera showing the side angle?
I noticed he said on every single interview like this.
Yeah, or like this. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. You see how skinny I look right now? You just see my jawline. The worst ones is when it's like this.
And it's straight face to face.
I was like, oh my gosh. But now I'm back. It's not as bad anymore.
It's not as bad.
Because the thing is, whenever I travel, like, no matter what kind of training I do, it's hard for me to not start getting chunky in the face. Because when I'm here, I train almost 6 to 7 hours a day, you know? Like, if I go somewhere else, what am I going to do? Just lock myself up in the hotel and run in circles, you know? So it's not, unless if I actually find a gym out there, it's going to be hard.
The hotel didn't have a gym?
They did, but I'm saying like I go down to the gym and do a workout. Yeah. I'm not gonna be 6 hours downstairs in the hotel's gym. You know, it's usually just gonna be like an hour or 2 hour workout. You know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So we spent most of the time also doing stuff with the family. It was kind of vacation. It was really cool.
Yeah, but I'm also weren't you walking around a lot? You couldn't burn anything off like that. That shows how much you were eating.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. One, walking around is not gonna burn that much calories. 2, yes, I was eating a lot.
Yeah. So you know you did enough walking to maybe stay regular if you just didn't eat as much as you were eating.
I did enough walking to not have a cardiac arrest like while I was sleeping. That's what I did. I did enough workouts to make sure I was still recognizable when I showed up to those radio stations. And man, you look different. And then my sister started bullying me. She was like, "Oh, these people they think you're like you look big because you're like a fighter. You know, they don't know you're just fat. You know."
That Nigerian level of unsubtlety.
Come on, dog. That's the one thing. Like, I don't think that's immigrants get in trouble for that here because when they start speaking English, they think like Africans and like other immigrants are rude, but they don't know like it's just when you speak another language like Yoruba is like there's not that many like when you speak the actual language. Things aren't that subtle. It's kind of like blank to the like to the point. Yeah. So when they transfer that over to English, it sounds like you're like a jerk, you know? Yeah. Like someone would just say like, "Oh, you're fat." Yeah. But if you say that in Yoruba, like it makes sense. But if you say it in English, it's like, damn. Like,
man, mommy's the master of that one, y'all.
Yeah. Nah. But hey, that's one of them things like people that aren't bilingual are just gonna have to learn because I hear there's the same thing with like Asians and stuff like that too. Like the Asians always again like the reputations for being rude and stuff, but it's not really them. It's just
blender languages. Yeah, like, you have to get directly to the point. English is a little like more about subtleties and all that stuff, but.
I'm trying to think of what else happened while we.
Well, I was gonna talk about the charity then when you went out to feed everybody because I saw you on this guy posted a thing about like charitable fighters in the UFC and you were on there.
Yeah. That's Ariel Amani. I used to what's the name? He's actually like a really big really big in the MMA community.
Oh, nice.
So I was really surprised that he put me on there. You know, I remember like back, especially way back in the day, I would like never miss an episode of the show. And like now that I kind of like get into where I'm at is the people are kind of like my peers now. So it's harder for me to like be all like starry-eyed over like the interviews anymore. You know. But yeah, he added me and I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. Those little charity stuff, like I mean, you know, most people, some of the people that like listen to this might not know, but I've been doing that stuff since like my pro debut, you know. And before I can't really take the full credit. Actually, my sister has been doing that stuff. All I did was just provided the funds, you know. So my end was a little bit easier. So whenever I have a fight. with the money that I'll make from my fight, I'll give like a certain amount of that to like my brother and sister. And after a while, my sister started saying like, "Hey, do you mind like giving money to like feed the community? You know, like especially like the less fortunate in the community." I was like, "Oh yeah, no problem." So that's kind of how it started. And then whenever I'll go back to Nigeria and I'll be there to help, I'm like, "Oh, I'll go join you guys to go do this." So if you go back to like if you scroll down my Instagram, like back to like in the early professional days, you'll see me doing the same kind of thing. It's just now I have a lot more eyes on me.
It's a
so
platform.
like so more people are able to see it. So this time the same thing happened. Let's go join them. Like I clipped the little videos to make it like it was like a smooth transition. Yeah. But trust me, it got a little hectic out there.
I was there one of the other way earlier times. Yeah, you remember when you had asked me to help you, and I was like, I can't even help record.
Exactly.
Like, this like...
Yeah, back in the day. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, my brother was there with us back in the day when we was feeding some of the less fortunate back home, and like it always just to give you a preview of how it starts. My sister and like her friends and people like they make the food and we package them up in like little boxes and in a bag, and then we put a little bit of money in the bag too. So whenever we go over there to go give it out, so it will start off very nice and peaceful. Yeah, you give like 3 or 4 people the bags, right? Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, thank you," and like they'll take it like 5 foot away, thinking it's food, until they open the bag. As soon as they see that money in that bag, all hell breaks loose, yo. The same person might come back 5 times, and I'm not talking about coming back as in like, "Hey, can I have another one?" I'm talking about, "Hey, I haven't got one yet. And like next thing you know, it's a big old mob. You know what? I'm gonna put the unedited version of the video on YouTube. Just so y'all can see. But it gets real hectic, so you kind of have to be like a little bit like firm and aggressive, you know, because some people will try to, which is understandable, you know, like
coming from a desperate place.
Exactly. They're coming from a desperate place, and opportunities like that don't happen all the time, you know, like people aren't just gonna walk around giving out free money. So like it'll get a little bit hectic, and that one got a little bit hectic too. But
imagine so.
It's worse on the girls. The
women helping. And the children are
no, I'm not talking about the women and the children that are begging. The women and the children that are helping us hand out the stuff, because they swarm them like quick. You know, like me, like I had like muscles, you know, and like just and I could make a pretty intimidating face, you know. so like if I say no, the person's gonna stop and say no. But like with the women that are helping us, like they'll say no, and like the people will still be reaching and try to snatch the stuff from them. But like I said, man, you just have to give. Like this time, when we first went, we took the first batch, right? Yeah. And like my sister was like, "No, these people, some of them are coming back twice. They've already gotten it. And we were like, "Man, we don't care. Like, give it to them again. Like we're
let the people that can get.
Yeah, if they get it, they get it. Like, hey, and if they don't, like, sorry, we're all out. You know, it's like we came here to give them all out anyways. Like, we're not gonna be like, hey, I said you get one. I said you get one. Like that. You know what's funny though? Yeah. This was pretty cool. After we finished like giving them out, right? I was walking back to the car and I saw this little one girl and she was like, "Thank you." And then when I saw her, I was like, I've seen this girl like 6 times today. You know how she kept tricking me?
How?
Every time I would give her the food and the money, she would come back with eyeliner on her face, like, and they like marked it up, like, you know, there's like these like cultural people in Nigeria, like they wear like weird makeup, you know. I forgot what the name of like their little tribe is called, but this girl, yeah, but I think that's a derogatory term. What's called?
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, Fulani or something like that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're racist now.
Oh God. Oh jeez.
So. Nah, it's all right. You didn't know. So this every time like she would leave, she would change the makeup on her face and come back. One time she had like pink eyebrows. She got it from me. I gave it to her. Another time she had pink eyebrows and a dot in the middle. I was like, "Oh wow, this girl's a twin." So I gave it to her again. It wasn't until we was all out and I walked past her with no makeup on. I was like, this was the same girl like 5 times, yo. Hey, man. I'm like, hey, congrats to her, man.
But also, Nigeria is the land of twins and all that stuff. That could be a quintuplet, yo.
Man, no, it was definitely her. Like, because the girl didn't change clothes. I I just can't. It was the same exact clothes. It's just I did for some reason I didn't fathom the fact that she could just easily just add on more different makeup.
So Sadiq's like, man, this is a popular fashion trend amongst little girls.
Hey man, that little girl is smart as a mug, but she probably made out with the most money that day.
You think in the future though, you might we try to set up like a camp, like so way we can form a line to make sure that it's more equal opportunity, or you just
Nigerians don't form lines.
I know they don't. Sir.
Okay, so here's another. That's a good segue into another thing, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of embarrassing because
man, it is cringy as a mug.
When we got to start doing a little bit better as just like a people in general,
outside of our own country,
outside of the country, because the ways Nigerians represent themselves sometimes is like. It's embarrassing. So when I was going back this time, and the same thing happened even last time I went back home. When I went back home last before this fight, when we was going to Nigeria from here, we had to make a stop in
Germany.
This time Germany.
You guys stopped in Germany.
Last time we had to make a stop in Dubai.
Yeah.
So going there, everything's all smooth. But that transition from going from one country straight to Nigeria, where it's only Nigerians going, I'm like, yo, come on, man, we gotta represent ourselves better. They tell us all form a line, families and pre-boarding first. Yep. And as soon as they made that announcement, that jump turned into just a mob around the around the little
Nigerians don't make lines, they make crowds.
Yeah, they make crowds.
Like that's it.
And it's consistent. It's like no matter where you go, where the line's supposed to happen, it turns into a crowd. And then I remember one guy was behind my mom, and he was like, "Hey, don't you want to go?" And then my mom was like, "No, didn't you just hear him ask for women in church? She's been gone from the country too long. She don't know how it works." Yeah. And then the guy somehow got in front of us, right? He got in front of us, and we were supposed to go ahead of him. He was like, "He ain't gonna let us through, dog." He was just like this the whole time, like, "Y'all ain't going nowhere." But like I said, we gotta do better. Because the same thing happened when we was going from Dubai to Nigeria, man.
Oh man, they were looking at us like.
And then like on the airplane, the stewardess and people they kept like having to yell at people because people would just get up when the plane had a potential of like everyone dying. It's like you see the plane shaking and the seatbelt signs are on, and you just decided it's time to go to the bathroom. It's time for me to go to the bathroom, you know. And then like this was like, yeah, sit down. You have to sit down. You have to sit down. One girl started she put on the Whiz Kids and the what's the name like just on the speakerphone, and it's time for everybody to start enjoying the music and the party. I was like, man, they give us headphones, you know. Yeah. So it was a little wild, but that reminded me of another thing. I finally went to the first time I actually saw those people that we've been sending stuff to, the little boxers and stuff.
Yeah. That's nice because that's something I've only ever seen in photos too.
Yeah, me too. Like there's this group of people that live close to like where my sister lived. My sister lives she live in the hood. In the hood. She live in the hood. You know, it could be a little bit better, but hey, man, home is home.
I mean,
so there's a couple of people over there that do like a little boxing program, and they kind of like it's just a guy that's teaching them how to box in like a police barrack. Is like just like open like dirt field, you know, and they just put some like little pavement on the ground and stuff like that. And I've been sending them stuff. Another thing, I've been sending these people stuff from like amateurs. So like anything I've had, like old gloves and stuff like that. I saw some of my old gloves and like shin pads that I forgot even existed. I don't know why they got shin pads. They only do boxing, but they take everything. Like everything I send them, like anything like I see at the gym, they're just hanging around. I just take it, and anything that people are about to throw away, I'll take it and like pack it up and send it back home. And when this trip was my first time actually getting to go see those guys and seeing them use all of my stuff, and I was like, it's funny. The first day I went to go surprise my sister. Yeah. Somehow people just kept showing up to her shop. Coincidentally, people just kept showing up to her shop, and one of those coincidences was that Coach Usher showed up. And like my plan was to just show up to my sister's shop, grab her and her kids, and let's go have fun. Her plan was for us, as soon as she saw us, she came up with a million different excuses for us to not leave, you know?
So she can keep breaking people over.
And then like slowly but surely, the shop just kept getting more and more crowded, you know? So when the coach got there, I told him, I was like, hey, I'm gonna on Sunday I'm gonna come practice with you guys. I'm gonna come watch, you know. Yeah. So he went and told all the teams. My sister said some of the people that he told, like, their parents wouldn't believe it. They're like, man, he's not coming, blah blah. Like I said, they think I'm like Tom Cruise or something. I'm like man, he ain't coming. He ain't gonna blah blah blah. And it felt good, you know, to show up and just to show those kids that, like, I'm not no, like, freaking, like, God or nothing. Like, yeah, I'm just a regular guy like you guys that was able to make it out there. And some of the people that used to help that coach, like, a lot of them, like, turned their back on him because I guess they thought that I wasn't, like, supporting them or something, or like he was just making it up. So they didn't think I was actually gonna come either. So like, and one of those people that said I wasn't gonna come, he sent this kid there. And then, like, his kid saw me, and I was like, man, what? My sister was like, watch when he gets back home, and he's gonna tell his dad. His dad's gonna go crazy. And everybody, they, like, put on a show before I got there. Like, they I mean, like, when I first got there, they started, like, dancing and singing my name and stuff like that. Man. And, like, they were, like, doing, like, some, like they were speaking, like deep Yoruba to the point where I didn't understand what they were saying. I was like, hey, thank you. I was like, man, yeah, I speak that basic Yoruba. I'm in there. Once I start adding the different man, that's the different land dialects, I was like, yeah, that's going right over my head, you know. And then they started sparring, and these are the sparring, no mouthpiece and no headgear, dog. Oh my god, that's bare knuckle boxing. I was like, oh my goodness. And then, like, some of the old gear that I sent them, this one kind of touched my heart because a lot of the old stuff I sent them was, like, stuff that I sent them when I couldn't use them anymore. So I was like, these aren't good for me anymore, so I sent them back. So it kind of made me feel bad watching them use it because, like, while they'll be sparring and stuff, like, it would just, like, come apart and stuff like that. I was like, I'm not gonna send them old stuff no more, you know. Like, I'll still send them, like, what I can, but most of the stuff I'm gonna try to send is gonna be new stuff. So I wrote a post on Instagram, like, anybody that want to send me newer stuff to send them, I'll do that instead, because even though it felt good to help them out, I also kind of felt a little guilty, you know.
Like, that's all we could have sent them at the time.
That was all we could have sent at the time. But, like, I'm in a better place now. I have a platform where I can actually ask for help for people to send better stuff, you know.
And we can get it started, man, because Nigeria has like a lot of youths, like, sleeping there waiting, man.
Nah, for sure, man. Some of those kids have a lot of heart, and I saw a lot of little kids that were really good, you know. I was like, I would like for them, like, do MMA, not just boxing, you know. But for now, that's all they had, just knowledge of boxing, man. And then, like, okay, there's another thing that happened too. They had the little kids go first, and I was like, this wasn't even part of the plan. My mom warned me about this thing too. She was like, every time you go to Nigeria, like, money just gets spent, like, randomly, you know. So, like, after the little kids stopped fighting, I was like, all right, let me just give them a little bit of money, you know. And then as soon as that happened, I see another group of 6 people start sparring. I was like, okay, let me give them something. And then after that, they just kept going and going. I was like, hey, please, no more sparring. No more sparring. Like, I brought I forgot what I brought money. The money that I had was not for that. I just wanted to give them little kids something, you know, because they were sparring. I was like, man, I don't want these kids to just beat themselves up for me. And then it turned into not wanting the little kids to beat themselves up for me, into everybody trying to kill each other, you know, to get a little bit of change, you know. I was like, all right, please, no more sparring, you know. Please, no more sparring. And then after that, it was cool. Like, they went from, like, the boxing people sparring, everybody gathered around. Like, there were people playing soccer and stuff. They all gathered around and started watching. So, man, it was exciting, man. It was a real good vacation.
It was tight. That is actually real. Man, that made me miss out, man.
Nah, you should have came. Like, honestly, that's why I was trying to message you. If it wasn't because of the time difference, I was like, man, you wouldn't believe it. It's nothing like how it was when we left before, you know? Like, I had some money, you know.
You came back as a different class.
Exactly. So, like, now it kind of changed, and then I was like, and it was also me taking my mom on vacation, you know, so that also felt good too. I was like, I was trying to get her not to spend anything, but for some reason she would find a reason to spend money, like, no matter what. She just kept on finding different things to, like, spend money on.
And even before you guys left, I was like, because it was like you were gathering up all the stuff. Y'all had the toys for Faisal. Y'all had, like, all these different gifts you were gonna give out, and mommy would still go out and buy more stuff.
It was the only one bad thing though. They stole my Apple TV at the airport, man.
Hey, that was on the way back,
man.
Right?
Nah, it was definitely Nigeria.
No, I'm saying it was on. Yeah, no, it's Nigeria. I'm saying it's on the way back.
I was like, don't get it twisted. That Nigerian saw it, but it was my fault. I was sleeping on him because we was at the airport.
You know when they
I had too much weight in my book bag, and like I pulled the Apple TV out in front of everybody and then put it in another bag. I was like, yo, come on, Sadiq. In hindsight, I was like, yeah, I was sleeping bad, boy. I was on cloud 9.
That's a temptation right there.
Yeah. Nah, as soon as I don't even think that thing made it through that belt. I was like, as soon as I put it in the bag, I probably put my book bag back on and it was already gone. But all I know is that Apple TV did not make it back to America.
On the more tragic end of things, you want to talk about the shop?
Oh yeah, man. Hey, that's it. That's the game we played. When we got back here too, we also found out that my sister's shop got robbed. You know, they stole. But hey, the way I see it is just material things. You know, they stole all the TVs from my sister's shop, which is the stuff that we sent for her to start the shop. You know, they stole all the TVs and they stole the home theater. Now they didn't even steal. So this is this is funny. This is how you know how Nigeria works. The people who stole this stuff are like real like local like villagers, you know. They just stole the things that they think are like worth something, and something that they could sell real easily, because there was like a bunch of PlayStations and Xboxes there, which was worth way more than the TVs they stole, but they didn't have a concept of what that item was, you know. They also stole a home theater thinking it was like a DVD player, and they didn't steal the speakers. So you could tell it's just people that wanted to steal something that they could sell real quick, you know. So, and it wasn't just my sister's shop, it was like kind of all the shops in the area, and
so they grabbed what they could grab.
And they grabbed everything they grabbed is like stuff like that, like TVs, like stuff that they could easily sell, you know. But hey, like I said, that's the lay of the land, you know. And it was all just material goods. It's stuff that could easily be replaced, and nobody got hurt, you know.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the good part. I was just a little hurt. I was like, dang, right after you leave too.
Hey, like the whole trip was all good, and then the bad news came right then. They took my Apple TV and the TVs, man.
Anything with a TV on it was just bad news towards the end.
Honestly, whoever took the Apple TV.
I don't even know if they know how to, if they're gonna use it.
No, because it was someone at the airport. So the person, it wasn't like no villager. The people that stole the stuff from my sister's shop, those were probably like villagers and stuff like that. But the Apple TV, man, that John, I got. So by the time that was already on my mind. And then when my sister sent me that stuff with her losing all the TVs and stuff like that, I was like, man, we can't even be upset, man. Like we know the deals. We know where we came from. We know the vibes, man. We know the vibes. And then nobody got hurt. So it's all good. She still has all her goods and stuff like that. So she could still keep selling all those. It's just the people that are in the shop are gonna have to go without entertainment for a little bit, you know? And it's not gonna be forever, you know, like it's gonna get replaced sooner or later.
That's true. Yeah. So how did you actually like stay at the club? Did you like do a night at the club?
At my sister's place? No.
You know that?
What? No way. Why would I do that?
Do like a promo or something.
Why the heck would I do that?
She already had you there for the day. Why'd you do a super stick night?
Man, yo. Anywhere that I was. Okay, this is another thing. Every single day, I told my mom and them, I was like, today, I'll do one thing, come back home. One thing, come back home. For some reason, every time we went out, something would just happen that would make us get stuck at wherever we're at. And like we would not get back until like late at night. And you know how the traffic is back there. Like driving, you might make like a 10-mile drive and that joint take like 3 hours, you know, just because of the freaking traffic, you know. So the day when I went to my sister's shop and she wouldn't let us leave, and she would just be like, "Hey, why don't you guys wait for my car to get finished? Why don't you guys wait for nighttime? Why don't you guys wait for this and this?" And she was like, "Oh, we have that." I was like, and after a while, I noticed it was just her stalling so she could call all her neighborhood friends to come see that her brother is here, you know. I was like, man, come on, man. I was like, I guess sometimes I don't believe her that we're related, but I was like, don't they see the pictures I post of you? Is like, isn't that enough? Like, no, man, come on, just stay here, Wait. We have I'll tell them like, man, I want to go to ShopRite. I want to do like we have that. We have something like that here. That's hilarious. We have a stock. We have a shop, and then everything she'll take us to will be like the local village version of what I'm asking for. Like, yeah, you I think I said I wanted to get batteries or something, and I wanted to get something from some shop, right? She's like, we have that. She took us to the local village shop, man. I was like, yo. I was like, man, I just want to go home, man. Like, not even want to go home. At least go to the city. Like, can we just go to the city? It's like I did not come on vacation to just hang out in the local areas. You know, it's like, come on, man. Like, I wanted you guys to come with us, and we all go to the city areas. You know, like let's all level up. You know, it's like, shoot. Hopefully, next time I go back there, I'll have a little bit more change in my pocket, and we can even level up more than that. You know, then we can get on the helicopters. Now we can get on the helicopters.
Hit the real Nigerian lifestyle. That's like nothing you ever talk about. Because that childhood of ours was fake.
like the 90% of all Nigerians getting them helicopters and popping champagnes. Nah, I'm joking. I just like messing with her because I know when she first told me that, dog, like it really made me question. I was like, wait, am I wrong? like maybe I was in the minority.
Nigeria's a big place.
Like, no, because when she first said it, she didn't tell me that she went there with like an actress or like a musician or something. I just thought she literally just went to Nigeria and just got to party with everybody.
So they gonna be, this don't change.
Yeah, I was like, damn. I was like, yo, Nigeria doing it like that. I was like, no, she just went over there with the 1% of 1% in Nigeria. The rest of us we're still doing about the same.
Everybody the same thing. Yeah, that's cool though.
Another thing, the hotel was really cool too. Because we told them real early, and they was like, "Oh man, you're in the UFC and blah blah. You're Super Sadiq, blah blah blah." They were like, "Man, you're the nicest celebrity you ever met." I was like, "I'm not no celebrity, man." But I was like, I guess to them I am. I was like, they're like, "You're the nicest one we ever met." They're like, all the people that come here, they don't talk to us. They just like treat us like trash. Like they don't have conversations. I was like, man, I'm a regular dude.
Yeah, you're still a person at the end of the day.
And on top of that, like I do martial arts, you know, like it's gonna humble you, you know. So I was like, the hotel people was like super friendly and stuff like that. I was like, you can't just make money and just start acting like Dick Schwartz people.
Yeah. But speaking of martial arts, man, you know you can't leave this conversation. You cannot leave a single podcast without defending your title as the defeater of Bruce Lee.
Yeah, oh my God. I just talked about this joint again at the gym like last week, yo.
But ever since you said this shit on this podcast, dog, I have not gotten people to stop talking.
But everybody that keeps asking you questions are people that don't know anything about martial arts.
Listen,
what's the question now?
Do you know what Jeet Kune Do is? What is your knowledge on Jeet Kune Do, Sadiq?
Hold on, who asked you this question?
One of my friends, man.
Does he know what Jeet Kune Do is?
He's read a lot of books about Bruce Lee. And I'm sure he's seen a few things about Bruce Lee. All I can do is ferry the questions over to you.
You know what I can tell you about Jeet Kune Do?
What's that?
There's no Jeet Kune Do masters in the UFC.
But isn't
there's literally zero of them?
Isn't that because it's too difficult?
Oh yeah, you're right. if they used it, it'll probably kill you. You know. No, the idea of it is like brilliant. Is taking techniques from different martial arts and putting them together, which is what
mixed martial arts.
Thank you. So the thing with what mixed martial arts is now is we've had years and years to keep improving on that, and we find out what are the best techniques to take from each martial arts to put together. So his idea, like, I don't have anything. Like, now you're gonna make me seem like I hate Bruce Lee.
No, you don't.
I literally have nothing against Bruce Lee. I just want y'all to stop comparing him to the modern day fighters. Stop comparing him to George St. Pierre. Like, that's it. And the thing is, if George St. Pierre heard this, he's like, yes, Bruce Lee. He's blah, blah. Which I probably would have said too if I was in his shoes. But it's not true. The facts are facts. I'm sorry.
Man, that's hilarious. It's not going to go away. You don't, like, you're just going to have to keep, every now and again, you're going to have to keep.
Even my coach was talking about how freaking great Bruce Lee is. And
Speaking of, did you see that Bruce Lee, like, wannabe looking like dude that got his ass beat by mixed martial arts because he was coming in? This was like a little thing
on YouTube.
Yeah,
I think so.
I was like, man, that's hilarious. I was like, what are the odds?
Because you could tell from even watching like what MMA is now, you could tell what techniques will work and will not work, or like which ones have a more higher probability of working. Because there's a lot of stuff that people will do that are crazy. You know, like. One of the people that's fighting in a couple of days, he hit like an elbow like this and knocked somebody out, you know? Yeah. So there's almost anything will work in fighting. Yeah. But what you're doing in fighting is just counting your risk to reward. Is like that. And trust me, a lot of stuff Bruce Lee do is very high risk, low reward. Unless if y'all really gonna convince me that he was somehow sidekicking heavy bags through windows, I don't think it was happening.
Man, it was written down somewhere.
You weighed 135 pounds.
Because he like cored his muscle.
Hey, physics is a real thing, you know. It still exists.
He trained every part of his body.
Unless if this heavy bag was very, very overhyped and this heavy bag wasn't so heavy, you're not sidekicking the heavy bag through the window.
Hey, listen, I'm just passing it on to you and expect more to come.
Yeah, next time they ask you a question, you should just write it down or just record it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna start doing. Yeah. I'm gonna start recording it, writing it down,
just so I could know what their question is. Anybody I remember one time they asked Floyd Mayweather if he thought him versus Bruce Lee who would win. I was like, Bruce Lee's an actor, and I think they try to like shit on Mayweather for that too. But I was like, no, he's right. You're comparing one of the best boxers in the world and asking me him versus Bruce Lee who would win. Yeah, I'll probably put my money on Floyd too. You know, it's like maybe like when you start adding a bunch of other martial arts, Bruce Lee might be able to do it because Floyd doesn't know that. Yeah. But you just put them in the ring and tell them to box each other. No, Bruce Lee would get killed like the other 50 people that Floyd beat coming up.
Maybe the question everybody's asking now is like not even in like a mixed martial art ranks. Like if you two met on the streets and had to fight him.
Yes, I'm sure George would kill Bruce Lee if they met on the street.
Okay.
He walks around 190 pounds. Bruce Lee is 135 pounds.
Okay, see, I think that's where we're getting into now, because people are going to go like, oh, Bruce Lee can do this technique, do that technique outside of rules and regulations.
George would kill him.
Okay.
Let me tell. Okay.
Sadiq, okay. I'm not in a side here.
Okay, I know. I understand.
I'm an envoy.
I know, but you're the representation of the people that I'm trying to talk to right now.
All right. So let's do that.
If me and you are in a competition, we're supposed to fight each other. And then you start putting little tiny rules in to restrict what we can do. Yeah. Like, let's say, not even boxing. Like, boxing is too restrictive. Now we're only using hands. Yeah. But we're doing MMA.
All right.
We could punch, kick, and we could grapple. We start adding little rules like, I can't kill you.
Yeah.
I can't stab you.
Yeah. No weapons.
I can't poke you in the eye. I can't kick you in the balls. I'm already 100 times better than you. Why do you think once you would take off all the rules, why does you think that will give you more of a chance of beating me? Wouldn't I just be 100 times better than you, and now I could kick you in the balls also? And I'm already 100 times better than you, and now I could also kill you in addition to being 100 times better than you. Why does the removal of rules automatically give you more of a chance to beat me?
But Sadiq, who wins in a fight? An MMA fighter or Bruce Lee with a gun?
Now we're talking. George St. Pierre. It's like, I'm joking. Okay, Bruce Lee with a gun will beat most MMA fighters. Hot take.
There you go.
Bruce Lee with a gun beats most MMA fighters. Are you happy?
We reached consensus.
Okay, I give it to you guys. If Bruce Lee had a gun, he'd beat almost every MMA fighter. He'll probably beat a good 100% of the UFC. 0% of the UFC could beat Bruce Lee if he had a gun. There you go. Matter of fact, I'll scale that back. Maybe 5% might still win. Because it might jam or he might miss. But he will get most of them if he had a gun.
There we go. I think we now know.
Y'all gotta make me stop doing this, man, because people are gonna like think I'm like a jerk, yo. Like, I don't got nothing against Bruce Lee. It's just arguments like that, man.
Yeah,
it's like, man, what if it was like no rules, you know? Yeah. It's like, yeah, he'll get his ass kicked, and then there'll be no rules on top of it. So like,
yeah, you respect the man for what he done, his legacy, his movies, and all. Even like the philosophies behind his martial arts, and his workmanship was great. Like that's
everything he's done is good, and I didn't stop. I'm not arguing about Bruce Lee. I'm arguing
about the people.
The people. Yeah, the people.
So we just redirected.
They're hyping it up, you know. And this all came. And like they literally brought this back up at the gym again because they started talking about that movie again. Yeah. So I was like, yeah. But outside of that, what have I missed?
What have you missed? Man, I'm not the guy that's gonna tell you what you've missed.
Well, I'm saying I've been gone for 3 weeks. You don't know nothing that I missed.
I'm a very self-absorbed guy. I've been living very much my own life. I'm sorry, I don't keep up with foreign events. The biggest thing I know that's going on right now is Area 51.
Well, that was a whole lot of nothing. What is going on over there?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Come on, show.
A whole bunch of creepiness. We got a ghost knocking on the door.
Is that
but let's focus back on what
we're sorry.
But no, I did see the Area 51 stuff was supposed to happen on the.
It was yesterday.
Yeah,
but the 20th.
I mean, I figured once the government started threatening to assassinate everybody that had anything to do with it, that it was gonna kind of die down.
Well, yeah, I thought it would be more of a funny thing though. Like I thought there'd be like, I don't know, balloons. I was expecting something.
That's what let you down.
The big imagination of you.
Nobody brought balloons.
Nobody brought balloons.
That's
how it was. No, but I thought they was like gonna turn it into a festival or something. Like I guess it was Fire Fest.
Did
that was the guy.
You really thought the government was gonna let people have a music festival?
I didn't think they were gonna stand there right
Area
there.
51.
I thought it would still just be an event.
Listen, if y'all had a music festival in front of Area 51, that would have been more impressive than you guys actually getting inside of Area 51.
That's what I'm saying. We needed something.
No, nothing was going to happen with Area 51. Like, I thought the government made that very clear when they said, hey, we test weapons here. If you come on our ground, we might accidentally test the weapons on you by accident. Like, quote, and they repeat that it might not be on purpose about 20 times. When people say something's going to happen accidentally in the future, they're planning to do whatever that accidental thing is. So don't show up.
Yeah, it's just like that. But I don't know. I haven't been really that much into the news recently because, well, life has been happening.
Like what?
Just the classes thing has been swarming me. Personally, I just haven't had much time to engage anything. Been real busy. Like there was I don't know, at least just started teaching, the school year's entering. There was a shooting a little while back that was kind of scary in like an area where she was teaching. Like something.
Around here?
Yeah, it's like 14 minutes away.
I was in Nigeria. There's always
shooting.
There's always something going on.
You want to know
that's another thing. Did you see that PSA with the kids going back to school? And it was pretty dark actually. It was a commercial. Yeah, and it was like, hey, I got a new skateboard, and it's like a kid breaking the window with a skateboard to escape the school shooter. Mm-hmm. Like the whole commercial is happening inside of a school, but the kids are kind of acting like normal and just. Like, you remember, like, how South Park was talking about school shootings that are happening all the time? Yeah. That's kind of how the commercial was. And she was like, hey, I got these brand new socks. And then she uses it to tie the door. The school shooters go around shooting people. Yeah. Like, hey, I got a new skateboard. And he breaks the window and to kind of escape the school shooter. And the little girl's on the toilet seat. It's like, hey, my brand new cell phone. She said, I love you, Mom. I'm about to die. Like, something like that. I'm like, dang, that John is dark as a mug.
Oh, because you know what's fucked up about it is because when, like, Elisa told me, like, because the reason she couldn't leave was because she was saying like she was about to leave, but then they told her to close down the school because there was like a shooting in the area. And then I was like, I didn't know what to, so I looked it up on my phone to try to see what the shooting was. And then when I looked it up, and like in that same day, there'd been like 4 shootings just in this state alone. And like I couldn't find out which one she was talking about. I was like, that's ridiculous.
Do you think this stuff are happening more, or we just know about it more?
I think it's still happening more because that's still like a death. I think you can look up on the FBI crime statistics website to see like the amount of shootings, like, and you can like just see it actually going up more because you can't.
Are you sure about that? Or is that just something you're saying?
I mean, I don't know. Nah, I'll go back and double check before I hammer down. But you got to think about it logically. There wasn't as much guns on the market as there were 50 years ago.
Yeah, sure.
So like,
but are people dying more than there was 50 years ago?
People die all the time, like
yeah,
but we're talking about specifically
if the death rate is staying about the same, then.
But if the cause of it is changing, like 50 years ago, somebody cough up a lung, that's it, they're done. We can treat them now. Like I'm saying, if the cause of the deaths is now all the time somebody pulls out a gun and shoots another person, and that specific instance of a death is going up, while the death rate stays the same, like we're curing more diseases, people are getting treatment for other stuff, maybe suicide is down, stuff like that. But the same people getting shot, like that's going up. So the numbers of deaths stay the same, but the number of people getting killed by gunfire is going up.
You know why this conversation always bores me, or like I don't really like in this conversation? Nobody ever offers a realistic fix, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
what do you mean nobody offers a realistic fix? The fix is just like, don't have as many of them out. But it's just like, people say that's not realistic because that's just a matter of want. That's like somebody just doesn't want to.
Okay, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
How do you make that happen?
you can't. Like, it's about an individual.
That's what I just said.
But it's about the individual. Like, you just have to learn to not be a selfish asshole and go like.
There's nothing like at this point. I don't know what the government can do. I don't.
Like you can turn it into a law. Like,
but what would the law say? Like, let's say I'm giving you all the power right now. Fix a gun situation in America.
I'm saying if the law was just all you could have was a handgun, that was it. It would go down. Like,
now Mr. Yusuf has made the law. All United States citizens can only have a handgun. All right, now what do you do about everybody that has more than a handgun before?
You gotta just do the straight up. Like, if the thing that every like gun right activist is always scared of happening, which never is gonna happen, it's just like somebody walks up to your door and goes like, "Hey, sir, what guns do you have in this house?" And you go like, "Oh, I got my AR-15." It's like, we're gonna need to take that from you.
All right, now we're at the door. Mr. Officer Yusuf is here to take my AR-15. My name is Jimbo Hickleberry. I don't want to give you my AR-15. I want to protect myself because now you're getting on my property.
So he's gonna shoot me with his AR-15.
You see how quick that turns into anarchy?
Yeah.
And now you see how that gets spun into the government is coming for us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's never gonna happen. The government is never gonna come for your guns.
They are. It's up to based people. Off what you're saying.
Yeah, no, but it's up to. That's not that part of the plan is never gonna happen. It's up to people to obey the law.
I just give you the full power to do whatever you want.
I was saying the extremist version of it.
I know. Okay, but I'm still all right. Refresh. Okay. I just gave you all the power to do whatever you want.
Okay.
Fix the gun situation.
I'm saying the same law is passed, but it's still up to people to follow the law, Sadiq. That's like always been the case. Right now, what's stopping you from like just going out and buying heroin and consuming it? It's just an invisible wall that says don't do that. But yet again, we don't have a bunch of people just on heroin 24/7.
We do that.
We have a lot of people on it, but not as many people are going around shooting each other.
I think the gun one's a little bit different because people aren't just gonna give you a weapon back. You know, it's like
what's the government gonna do with it? The government has drones.
No. I completely understand what you're saying, but I'm saying these like gun fanatics aren't just gonna give you back their gun like willingly. You know, these same people, someone that's this desperate over a damn gun is desperate enough to cause trouble.
And that's what I'm. That's so weird though, because like you don't value other humans' life more than your own personal enjoyment.
Trust me, I know these people in person. No,
that's ridiculous. That's crazy to me though. Like I guess that's just a fundamental difference in like persons. Like
one of my teammates is a very enthusiastic gunman, and
I don't know, man.
He would go to death to tell you that he needs an AR-15 to hunt pigs.
Those quick pigs.
He will fight you to the death to tell you that he needs 100 clips in his gun to hunt a deer.
What is he gonna do with the deer afterwards?
Hey, he just wants you to know it's his gun. He needs 100 of them. He needs about 100 of them, and he needs them to be fully automatic, and he needs some machine guns on top of it.
Like realistically speaking, if you
it's pretty silly, you know. Yeah, and even when I talk to him too, like I've never really seen him like lay down like a real reason for it to be necessary, you know. But I do know when it comes down to it, if they do forcibly try to take his gun, it might turn a little bit left.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But like I'm saying, because if you can't protect your house with a handgun, I don't know.
Okay, that's another thing. Yeah. I say that a lot of times too. But if 100 people do come into my house to rob me, I'm going to be highly upset that I don't have that machine gun.
My thing is
just playing devil's advocate.
Okay, here's my thing. If 100 people are coming to my house to fuck me up personally, I think I'm done with that community.
Okay. So the reason why I said that is because I proposed that same argument to him. Yeah. Like, if you were coming to rob you, you should be able to protect yourself with a handgun. But then that same night, I was laying in bed. I was like, dang, if someone comes to rob me right now, I'll just pull out a handgun and shoot him. And then I'm going to be highly upset is after I shoot that one guy, I see 20 more. I'm like, damn, I wish I had my machine gun.
I'll be like, fuck, dog. These really want my shit.
They really want my stuff.
I'm like, these motherfuckers really want my shit. And then at that point, now I'm scared. I'm like, damn, how much more of these motherfuckers are coming? Because if 100 people are going to come to rob you, 1,000 more are following them.
Yeah, so I honestly, I'm not going to lie. it don't make sense, but I can see when an AR will probably make sense.
Yeah, when it's you versus the world. Yeah,
you versus the world. Yes, you might need an AR, but I don't think you need an AR to what's the name, to defend yourself against someone trying to rob you. Yeah. What's the realistic number of people you think will come rob your house?
5. Like at most, if it's like a gang of like they're just well-filled, they know what they're doing, and like at that point, I think they would be coming like those aren't the type of people that would break into your house while you're in there. Like that's an organized, like they know what they're doing.
You know, another thing that's also weird is like the argument he would have is that they will have better guns than you, but I think people are starting to like analyze what a gun does.
Yeah, it puts a hole in somebody.
What, yeah. One hole in somebody and 3 holes in somebody is probably gonna do the same amount of things, you know. It's like based off where it lands, you know. Like if I shoot you in the head with my handgun, you shoot me in the head with your machine gun. Oh, we're both dead.
Yeah, it puts a hole in somebody. But I'm talking about if you want protection, I don't know, get a good security system, like an actual security system, something that would actually lock and bolt down your, like get shutters, metal shutters that lock it down. If you want security, if you're that paranoid about somebody taking your,
more expensive than a gun, though.
I suppose so. If you want to be, listen, if I was that paranoid about my stuff, I would sooner. I don't want to actively defend it. That's a lot of work. You want me to get up out of bed, pick up a thing, walk around my house, and start shooting everybody, or I lock it down and then I don't have to worry about it.
Do you know who Killer Mike is?
Who's that? Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, the rapper.
He's a real big gun advocate. Mm-hmm. Which is really like is on the other side, you know. His thing is that the white people are gonna come for you, and you're gonna be highly upset when you shoot that one white guy, and there's about 100 more of them, and you're like, "Damn, I wish I had my machine gun."
That's so funny. I think Dave Chappelle just had a thing about it's either Dave Chappelle or somebody else when it was like, "Oh, what black people need to do is every black person needs to register and get a gun, and then white people would turn that shit around." And
hey, that sounds like a joke. 100%, I think that would happen.
Yeah. If every black person,
like, not even just that, let me not change it to black. Let me just say, if dudes from the hood just started going out to just go get registered firearms, I really think that shit would change, you know? Because at the same time, I think like depending on where you live, because I feel like if I was one of those rich people that lived like a house on the hills, I might not be satisfied with one handgun. It's like I think it's real easy for us to say that now we're living with a bunch of people around, you know? Yeah. But if you're just isolated, like in a mansion or something by yourself, you're not going to be okay with just one handgun yourself.
I don't know. If I have that much money, I would invest in something that would actually keep me safe. Because, again, I don't want to be the guy actively walking around my house having to shoot a gun. Yeah, having to shoot the gun.
You don't want to be that guy, but when that situation comes up, you're going to wish that you also have a gun on you. You're not going to want to rely on everybody else to just shoot around without you having a gun on you.
That's true.
You might not be that effective with it, but you're still going to feel a certain stuff.
Because I question my effectiveness on something like that. Exactly. Also, I don't know if, like, if somebody's threatening my life, probably. Like, yeah, you'd, like, be ready to, like, engage in, like... Because, I don't know, people are really flippant about how easy it is to kill another human being. If they're, like, somebody's ready to threaten your life, yeah, you might be there. But if I think this person is only here for my stuff...
Have I ever told this... Did I tell the story on here about the time I thought I was about to get shot at school?
Hmm?
I'm not
no,
sure.
You didn't tell it on here.
All right, let me break this story down for you because that has a lot to do with what you're... Well, actually, finish your thought first. When I'm saying... If someone's about to kill your life, you think you could shoot them.
I was saying, if life in life, you never know what you're going to get where you're at when you're at that level of threat. Okay. Like, because I know as a normal person walking around right now, I'm not ready to kill anybody. Yeah,
but I are you sure I didn't tell that story on here?
On this podcast?
Yeah, the kid that said he had a surprise for us all.
No, you didn't tell on this podcast.
Have I ever told you that story?
I think so, a while ago, but yeah, so let the people know.
For the people, if you never heard this story, I think I'm a pretty like tough and self-confident kind of guy, you know. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I feel like in most situations, I think I can handle myself pretty all right. Like no matter how hectic it gets, I think I can handle myself all right. Yeah. The reason why I don't judge, and this is another thing too, even going back to when school shootings happen and they start judging people for not being heroes and stuff like that. No. The reason why I don't judge them and the reason why I have something against what you just said is because one time when I was in school, the kid in my class that is most likely to shoot up the class, like if you just had to guess, I was like, hey, who's most likely to shoot up this room? That kid, yes. Yeah. That kid got up in the middle of class, and this is after years of getting bullied in our school, got up in the middle of class with his backpack, opens it up, and said, hey, I have a surprise for everybody, reaches in his backpack. And in that moment, I just froze. Like my body literally froze, and I started like sweating cold. Like literally like in that 1 second, I was like, oh my god, this kid's about to shoot everybody. I was 100% convinced. And me, if you had asked me before that point, like, what would you do if somebody got up and was about to shoot the class? I would say, oh, I'll tackle him. Yeah. Oh, I'll kick the chair up and Bruce Lee kicked that jump to the side, you know? But in that moment, I completely froze, you know? Like, if he had reached in his backpack, he literally could have gone as slow as this, walked up to me and shoot me, and I wouldn't have been able to move, you know? So you don't know how you're going to react in that time. And guess what? This kid did all that, reached in his backpack, and literally had a surprise and pulled out candy for everybody. But I thought he was going to kill us all, you know? Because also the kid that gets up in the middle of the classroom and goes, I have a surprise for everybody, and pulls out candy. Yes, he's still the one most likely to shoot everybody up. That's the type of weird kid this guy was, you know? Like he would do something like that in the middle of class. But I was freaking like terrified. And the funny thing is, when I looked around, everybody else just acted like, oh yeah, he was gonna have candy first. Like nobody else was scared, you know, except for me. But I guess maybe I'm the only one that just judged him to want to shoot up the class. I guess everybody else thought he was a normal guy.
Everybody else missed that part of the analysis.
Yeah, man, yo, but like in situations like that, just because you see all these like cool movies, man, like you're not always gonna react the way that you think you are.
You don't know. Nobody really knows what they're capable at the end. Like I said, it's one or the other. Either you go crazy or you just freeze up. Like
what's it called? Fight
or flight.
Fight or flight. Yeah.
That's it. Fight or flight. And
I'm sure I told that story on this podcast before because I remember you saying that before.
Maybe.
But yeah, how the heck did we get on this talking about guns again?
Because
we talked about guns before. How we get back to talking about guns?
That's weird.
We was talking about my trip in Nigeria, and then I was asking you what I missed here, and then
it's like guns. Because when you leave America, that's what you miss.
Yeah, no, that is insane. Yeah. Like you leave America and come back, and what they want to tell you about his guns. I'll tell you about Tekashi 6ix9ine, but I don't think you would know much about him.
Tekashi, isn't he one of the rappers?
Yeah, he's currently snitching on all his fellow gang members, and they're all going to jail. He used to be a regular kid, and then he got famous and decided to start hanging out with a bunch of Bloods and gang members.
Oh, he started doing head rat shit.
And then the pressure came on, and then he snitched on all of them.
That's hilarious. I just saw a thing that was talking about like it was one of those like millennials ruining everything and blah 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 blah, and it was like back in my day these was what rappers used to be about, and like now today we got like rappers eating like Cheetos and talking like trash, and I was like, that's better. Objectively, that's better. What? They're not hard. They're not criminals.
I guess it's better on the sense of they're not dying.
Yeah. So back in my day, two multimillionaires went to the street and shot each other.
So right now, the big fight is the like the old heads and some of the there are some people that aren't old too. They're like, man, he's a snitch. He's blah 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 blah. And like honestly, there's a lot of people that are also on his side that are like, I would have snitched on them too, because those same people, like, they kidnapped them once. They were having sex with his the mother of his child, and like they were also planning on like hurting and killing him, you know. So like they're saying like, man, once you're a gang member, blah blah, you can't snitch. You gotta go down. I was like, man, you guys realize they got rid of almost all the Italian families off of this thing? You don't think the random kid I just met on the street and joined y'all wasn't gonna snitch on y'all? If like real life like Italian mobsters was like lifelong criminals were snitching on each other, I didn't think he was gonna break, you know. I was like, and then they were talking about how messed up he is for snitching and blah. But I was like, you got also judge the people that let him join the gang too, you know. Those people wasn't very morally
they
sound.
Didn't care about his well-being.
No, it's not just his well-being. It's like, don't y'all hold y'all own gangs to a higher code than bringing in this random kid? It's like if the code meant so much to y'all, it's like y'all would have never let this guy join, you know. It's like y'all sold out for the money. He's not supposed to sell out for his freedom. It's like come on, man. It's like oh yeah, he's bad, like it's messed up that he's snitching on y'all, but y'all shouldn't have let him in. It's like if the code really meant that much to y'all shouldn't have let him in at all.
That's some pseudo brotherhood like type stuff. I don't really think
there was a rapper that put on Twitter. He put the Italian the mob has dang, what did I say? The mob has their code of silence. The police have the code of blue. The just stuff like that. And it was like, and then you're telling us black people that we can't have no snitching. It was like every single other like culture has their version of no snitching, right? It was like, say what you want, but at the end of the day, snitching is morally wrong. And then the first comment I saw under that, it said, "So is gang activity." I was like,
thank you. I was like, let's reduce it down to the the basis.
It said snitching is morally wrong. It says so is gang related activities.
Stealing, killing, and her like we decided.
I thought it was hilarious, but I didn't want to jump in it. I was like, because at the end of the day, I was like, you don't know nothing about this lifestyle. You know, I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, I don't know nothing about that lifestyle. But that was a very funny response, and nobody replied to him to tell me why he was wrong. You know, it's like because what he wrote was snitching is morally wrong. And like, so you know what's more morally wrong than snitching? Killing somebody. You know what's even more morally wrong than snitching? Robbing somebody.
We're talking about tattletaling versus stealing versus killing.
Like, yeah, but you're sending somebody to jail forever. Yeah, you're taking somebody's life forever. You know,
like that's
so it's like you can't have me feeling compassion for like people that's trying to rob people. You know. The same thing I saw academics talking about that too. Is like people were talking about all these no snitching and gang code and blah blah blah. It's like, man, these aren't the most morally righteous guys. Like, yeah, they're getting a snitch on each other all the time. You know,
their moral code has already been corrupted.
And then like I hate like the sheeps, man, on social media. Like sometimes it's the wannabe thug sheeps. Sometimes it's the I like my too woke sheeps, or like I like my musicians sheep. Like there's always a middle line for everything. Like you don't always have to be on one side or blah blah. Like I said, should the kid have snitched on all of his gang members and blah blah blah? I was like, no, you probably want to snitch on the people that did you wrong. Like maybe don't bring in everybody into the situation. But at the same time, if the deal that they offer you, or here's another case, his jump was 47 years minimum. Guess what they said at his trial? If after he's done doing the snitching case,
well, like a couple months,
he's getting 1 year plus time served, meaning he could get out in like 3 more months. It's like, you think somebody's not gonna snitch to change 47 years into 1 after they kidnapped you and did all this stuff to you?
But he should have sat in there. He should have served his time, sat in there, knowing he had the respect of his people.
And again, I'll make it very clear: I'm not no gangster. I don't know nothing about that life. But if I'm looking from the outside in, it's like there are no good guys in the story. So it's just where do you want to draw your line? It's like is your line of morality not tattletaling, or is your line of morality is not killing people? Or is your line of morality selling drugs? Is yours not shooting at crowds of people where anybody could get hit? Or is it not shooting into vans? This is stuff that they're saying like those gang people was doing. Not shooting into vans. It's like, is where do you want to draw your line? It's like, man, all that is good until you start tattletaling.
Yeah, like, you can do all that.
You could do everything.
But you just don't talk about
it. But you can't talk about it because people are going to jail. It's like, yeah, people are also dying. You know, like innocent people are dying. It's like, yeah, but that's a life they live. It's like
that's not the life some of those victims live.
And not even the victims. If that's a life they live, then guess what's a part of that life? Snitching. And that's what one the little Rick Ross, not the rapper, but the freeway Ricky Ross, he was like, he was doing an interview on Vlad, and he was like, would you ever, if the guy that snitched on you, if you walked into a room right now, what would you do? And he was like, I don't know how truthful he was being, but he was like, nothing. He was like, it's not his fault. He was like, at the time, what I figured out is like snitching is a part of gang culture, and I should have known better at the time. It was like that's just part of it, you know. Yeah. So if part of y'all little code is robbing, killing, and stealing, well, I guess getting snitched on is also part of that code too. You know, it's like the morality of somebody that's willing to kill and rob innocent people is not going to be very strong enough to not tell on the people that he's doing those same activities with.
Yes. That's true.
And if I'm wrong, I would love to get a very clear understanding of it. You know,
like somebody should write out these things. Like guys should we got to learn how to People need to learn how to argue better. I've
Not
noticed
even
that.
just that,
Like,
it's
or just prove a point.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Instead of proving a point, people just try to bring down your character.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh man, you're not part of this." Like, yeah, I'm not
like,
a gangster. Or they'll just be like, "Oh, you a bitch, you a snitch, you know, you're a blah."
But like, explain to me why that
like you can't just tell me that it's impossible for someone that's not in that to understand, you know, because there's like. People are people at the end of the day. There's some stuff that I don't have to be in to understand. All I know is if I'm morally corrupt, you cannot tell me that I'm gonna have one thing that I'm gonna hold very strongly, which is not tattletaling, because the degree of what snitching is and killing people, those don't weigh out. Like, you know, it's not that
can't, like that cannot be the moral pillar that supports your entire character.
Exactly,
it can't
because killing people and telling on someone that killed somebody, those don't have the same weight. Like, one sends one person to jail, the other one loses their life. It's like, why does that make sense to you? You know, it's like, am I wrong? Like, if someone could explain it better to me, I'll be willing to listen. Let's say you guys were just if what we was doing was making counterfeit pants, and then you snitched on me. Okay, that's kind of messed up. Like, hey, come on, man. We're just making counterfeit pants. You snitched on me. Now I'm about to go to jail for blah, blah. That kind of balances itself out.
Yeah, I'm breaking
when y'all start killing people, that don't really work out, man. Like, when y'all start shooting at people, it's like no. Like, those talent, like, snitching and killing people don't really balance out, man. Like, if the crime that you guys was doing was like victimless, not even just victimless, but something that doesn't hold that much weight. I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't understand. Like, maybe somebody that's about that life knows better than I do, but I definitely don't.
Yeah, maybe somebody can like wax to us like do the philosophy of gangster lifestyle and all that stuff, and like how it shapes out morally, socially, and conduct. Because there's people that talk about like you have to have like a man has a code or shit like that, right? Like if you stand up on one moral pillar that maybe that can support, but that is such a flimsy pillar.
That's a very whack ass pillar. So be like, I'll just never telling anybody. Like, you should have a better moral pillars than not telling on people.
Because it's like what some drug dealers go like, I'll never deal drugs to children or something like that.
Your moral pillar might also include not snitching, but that can't be your only one. And from the way that the trial's been sounding, that sounds like that was the only moral pillar that was supposed to be held up amongst these guys, you know, because they started betraying each other. They were talking about hurting each other and all this stuff. I'm like, man, this is insane. But that's it on Tekashi 6ix9ine. And like I said, I've been gone for 3 weeks. That's why I took a little bit of time to upload another episode, but I'm back now, and we're gonna try to keep it going consistently again. I don't have any fights on the horizon. I'm just back in the gym doing my regular training, and whenever I get news about my next fight, I'll let y'all know. I'm still trying to see if I can get on the DC card on December 7th, but I haven't heard anything about an opponent yet. And that's a card from outside. These mics are pretty good.
Yeah, they really are. They pick up everything. Yeah.
But thank you guys for watching again. Hopefully we didn't bore y'all. Hopefully we entertained you a little bit.
We've got a little dark towards the end there, but like it
ain't that dark. Well, like I said, we're just asking for clarity. It's just something that we don't understand. So if somebody could explain it like in a comment or something. Or even if you know me and you could have a better explanation, feel free to tell me.
Yeah. It's all good.
And peace out.